think it is absolutely necessary that Indigenous artists actually make use of digital tools and other avenues where we can tell our stories.
Kia ora koutou, o Toi Hourua me Te Atiawa ahau, ko Kiriama Taipa tōku ingoa. Kia ora, I hail from Toi Hourua and Te Atiawa. I work for Te Tuhi Māreikura Trust in Maunganui, and I'm also an artist. I'm probably most known for the 3D printing and the augmented reality work. I just took up a design paper at Massey in my undergrad, and then playing around with Photoshop, Illustrator and InDesign. And then from there, just self-taught.
Kia ora koutou, ko Julie Palmer-Pengali tōku ingoa, he uri o ngō Ngaitarangi. I'm a visual artist, a curator, a writer, and I have a studio where I practice tāmoko, which I've been practicing for over 30 years, and I'm also chairperson of Te Tuhi Māreikura Trust. The Trust is a little powerhouse actually, and it just kind of evolved like that in terms of what skills we were looking for.
There'll be 8 signs, but 7 artists.
What's on the 8th sign?
Myself. Just the info sign.
Kia ora koutou, ko Aisha Takuinga, work for Te Tuhi Māreikura Trust, and I am the Community Relationships Manager.
When I was a teacher at Wellington School of Design, photography was transitioning to digital photography. So for me it was about introducing our Māori students to the tools of the world, and Kiriama was instrumental in that.
I don't want people to just look at a static sculpture. I want them to be almost like consumed and a part of the sculpture itself.
Awesome.
I've had a big appreciation of those tools alongside Kiriama and watching his mastery, I guess, of those tools, and then envisaging what that can do for our people.
The work itself becoming a part of the environment as opposed to just sitting in the environment.
We can draw a lot of inspiration and creativity from the environment that we live in. You just get to go outside and you sort of see, the beautiful mountains and snow-capped mountains. For me, I sort of go back to our ancestors and how we viewed the environment as tangata whenua, as being one with the environment. Kia ora, ko Jordan Tūra taku ingoa, e uri ngā poraurangi, he kaiwhakaere mātua Tuatahi Creative.
Kia ora, I'm Hannah Gross. I'm the Senior Graphic Designer here at Tuatahi Creatives.
We're a creative agency based down here in Queenstown, specialising in Māori design, art, moko, filmmaking, a whole range of creative services. I was thinking like one of those up lights that they got for the Pōhiwa one.
Yeah, even just one, just to kind of like highlight it.
The exhibition is a digital arts Māori exhibition. We named it Tātai Whetū, which I guess sort of loosely translates to a cluster of stars.
Matariki means so many things to so many people, and this is the start of a new year, a Māori New Year, so it is about, remembering the people that have passed, also celebrating the now, and then setting your intentions for the future. So for me, as far as the Matariki AR Sculpture Trail, one, it's having accessibility to art because it's free, and also celebrating our artists.
I don't know, I just love it that we're celebrating these things more now, bringing a whole bunch of people together into this immersive, kind of culturally creative but learning space.
And for me, I guess bringing people together, family, friends, community, much like stars being brought together in a cluster. This is the Tātai Whetū piece that we've created. It's sort of the main attraction within our art exhibition. The idea came from wanting to tell the origin story of Matariki. I engaged with local Māori artists, tāmoko artists, Rena Te Kārena.
Kia ora koutou, ko Rena Te Hoani hika kārena taku ingoa. He uri no te au pauri, Ngāti Kahungunu ki te here taunga, Ngaitau. I'm a moko artist. I've been doing moko for about 17 years now.
We first wanted to have a physical art piece for it. and then add a digital component, which would be an AR experience.
Jordan approached me to do an art piece with them so we could collab. The concept behind it was basically Tāwhiri Mātia creating Matariki.
The art piece itself, what we did was we got it laser cut, and what we had to do was vectorize the original image, and then we sent the files over to a fabricator, and they laser cut the piece. We put LED lights around the frame of it all. It lights up all the artwork and all the line work and stuff that's in it. And then after that, we sort of went into the augmented reality piece.
Still don't quite understand. He goes, oh look, all I need you to do is draw this thing. Oh, do your art piece, we're going to laser cut it, it's going to work. I was like, okay, cool.
We started off with the sketches, Procreate, split it up into different layers, import them into MyWeb AR. What we wanted to do was try to create an effect where there was a bit of a depth into the art piece. And so yeah, what will happen is people have a QR code, they'll scan it, and then the artwork will sort of jump out at them, and that's sort of the effect that we wanted to do.
So all the movement of the art pieces to replicate a storm.
See, we've got like sounds of storms in that.
I've just riddled it with koru representing life, like everything's alive. Can't quite explain how much goes into moko. That's more than just the skin or me, or it's like it's a community thing.
I've used Procreate as a tool for my moko for quite a while, but this three-dimensional rendering, is kind of a new thing, and it's the ability to put designs onto a form that I've downloaded already complete. So I have an example here of works that I'm trying to work out with moko, with designs that I've done, and when I look at it, I've created it in 2D and edited it and tried to make it fit, stretched it, and then I can have a look at it in 3D.
Bringing it into AR is we're just using Swift XR. Once you get the three-dimensional work in there, you've got some options to play around with titles and text, as well as positioning, so that when people open it for the first time, it's at the proper size that the artist intended. And then from here, you just publish the work, and then you embed some code into your website.
For me, as far as digital work goes, it's also making sure that our IP is actually kept with our Indigenous cultures. Because the risk of having things online is people grabbing those designs or taking things out of context. And that's the part that I don't like about it.
This particular part of our celebration of Matariki, we call this our time of remembrance. So all of those people that passed during the last year, come up to the stone, place your hands on the stone, and call out the names of your loved ones.
The issue of IP, I think, is an interesting issue. In the sense that you can never really protect yourself, irrespective of whether it's the digital technologies or in beforehand.
Having studied in a contemporary Māori art space, I'm always kind of looking into the future and thinking, what do our people need to ensure that they have mana motuhake in this space?
Cultural appropriation is definitely one of the major implications for us as Māori.
See, for me, I'm like super pro AI. I just think it's amazing. I think it's going to help humans grow so much, and I think it's just inevitable that it's going to get used.
The digital tools are our way of one, expressing that sovereignty in an ongoing manner, but the second thing is actually anticipating the threats to that. There's a whole lot of technology that moves faster than us, and we need to keep abreast of it so that we can maintain our sovereignty over our things.
Mātaterangi wāhipu, rāua ko, mere aira, thecha, akulei mātua.
It's up to our Māori arts practitioners and cultural experts to uphold the mana and integrity of our culture and our arts. I don't think that you're going to be able to police it to a point where it never happens, it's always going to be there. They can't recreate our culture, our art, so they could try to, but it's just never going to be the same as what we can produce as Māori art practitioners.
That completes our ritual for this morning. It was a beautiful occasion for us to look forward to what's ahead of us. It's been wonderful.
Rotate, awesome, and scale it up, about 10 to 12 foot, yep.
Textures are working.
Yeah. Clean textures, bro.
She'll pop up soon. There she is. You can interact with her if I was on the other side of her, I could give her a hug. She wouldn't hug back, but that's the next phase. Yeah, you and the giant going for a walk.
Yes, I got the exhibition tonight, and overall I'm feeling pretty nervous at this point. With any creative work that you put out there, you just don't know how people are going to receive it. The image of her is like on the right side of this one.
Anyway, I think art is quite subjective, so if someone doesn't take it well, another person really will, which is really cool, and that's all that matters.
There's a number of different artists. Some are seasoned digital artists, and some are actually really quite new to digital art as well. And then it's just about using your smart devices to scan QR codes that will bring up different sculptures that all relate to those themes.
Like the way the light comes off it.
And then you can sort of place them in the environment and walk around and interact with them.
3, 2, 1. And it was really beautiful just to actually, see that piece interacting with people, but it felt really cool with the kids too.
So we see some tuna.
They're swimming up to the top in a spiral.
I think there's a taniwha face over here.
Speaks to them in a language that they're growing up in. I'm not au fait with that language, this is me trying to keep abreast of what everyone's doing. But for these kids, we kind of have to reach into that language and start to show them the possibilities of being Māori in that language. And as artists, we have the power to do that.
Rangi nui ke runga, papatuna ke raro, ko ngā tangata ke wā ngā nui tihei mauri ora. Tēnā koutou everyone, nau mā haramai, welcome to our whare here.
I guess the purpose of this evening, first and foremost, is for us to come together to celebrate Matariki. We are linked to all the planets. And when certain constellations rise, it's time to take a moment to really be with those energies. So it is a profound period of time.
Very pleased and excited to be able to present this work to you guys.
I've just met him recently, but oh my gosh, his vision is this huge. It's bigger than him. But you can see the tika, you can see the intention, and you can see that he just wants everybody to share our culture. How wonderful is that?
Couldn't really envision it before, so I guess it's kind of better because now I get to see them, especially like Tātai Whetū and that.
Spent a lot of time on that.
I spent a lot of time on that piece of work, so it's very cool to see it lit up and final.
Yeah, once I look at it more, it just looks like Tāwhiri Mātia is pulling out his eyes and throwing them into the sky and making them stars.
I think for anyone that's, overwhelmed or daunted by the idea of getting in the digital space, I think have the vision. You might not have the knowledge in that space to start with. It's a bit like being the actor and then becoming the director. It's start utilising people that are experienced in that space and start in small steps. The more you're around it, the more you demystify it.
I guess challenge you to give it a go and give it a crack. I mean, at one point you didn't know how to do the art form that you do, so why not try something else that's new, that might be a bit daunting. I mean, it's always hard taking that first step, but...
Mastery never comes easily. It takes years and years and years, but if you don't make a start, then you've got no gains to make.
And through the hard parts of that process, that's really where you grow. You can only get growth through those hard bits. When you look at that manga in front of you and then you take one step at a time, just one step, start at the bottom, just take one step, and then all of a sudden you're going to be at the top looking at the beautiful vista of what digital art is.